Your light illuminates their imperfections, hence their attempts to dull your shine. Light 'em up.
My name and flowers grew right out the brown soil. My vision's clear as glass, the robe is purple satin plus the crown's royal. Allow me to give you a demonstration. Holding your breath, waiting for me to fail only brings hyperventilation. See, I'm a soldier that's ready for any situation. So me and life double dated my trials and tribulations. Won't be remembered for not speaking out. I Google map my whole approach, so I chose not to take the peaceful route. I promise I can't make this shit up. I shed a tear, then use the mic stand to hold my chin up. They plot and strategize on different ways to make me give up. That's easier said than done, like a woman that's 9 months pregnant doing sit-ups. Yeah, I read the book of life, defeat was never in my story. Just brutal fights on the battlefield is bloody and gory. Showing off is a fool's idea of glory. Call me foolish, then in the clutch I make them drop like I was Robert Ory. See, in this world you gotta sink or swim. Boy, I'm a legend, when I die my presence never will be felt again. This greatness rare, but see I kept it in. Isolation in the demons, guardian angels been my only friend. I've been at war with myself in silence. Had a mental malfunction, forced to go into hiding. For powerless like
right now, cause then you gonna understand, whoever get in my way, I'm a dog walk their ass.
Yo, yo, yo. You already know what it is. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Big Mike Raider. And we're here to talk about some things, man. Hey, training camp is around the corner. Training camp is on the 22nd. The veterans pop in. The rookies already in the building. We got some things to talk about. We got to talk about this Christian Wilkins situation, man. Put on the PUP list. What does that mean for the Raiders? What does that mean for Christian Wilkins moving forward? Is he going to pop up by week 1? Should he pop up by week 1? We'll talk about it. We'll get into it. Jack Besh got his contract. All the draft picks from 2025 are in the building. We'll talk about that as well. And some other things. We'll get into some other things. But, guys, before we get started, man, I need for you guys to like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Yo, hey, get us to 3K today. Let's get to 3K today. Let's get it done. Also, go check out the new membership, man. Become a new member of the Big Mike Raider Fleet. And welcome aboard in advance. Let's acknowledge some of the chat before we get into any of this. We got Ant in the building. We got Wasted Talent. You already know my boys in the building, man. Thanks for popping in, man. We got CGR holding it down as always. Let's see. Let's see what we got here, man. And we got Wasted Talent with the $5 haymaker. I appreciate it, bro. Big Mike content. You already know what it is, man. Let me see. Let me see what else. We got a new member of the Big Mike Raider Fleet as well. Raider Ryan, salute to you and becoming a member of the Big Mike Raider Fleet, man. Welcome aboard. Hey, it's pinned up at the top of the chat, man. If you guys are interested in becoming a member, go ahead and do that, man. The season is, I wouldn't say it's officially started, but it's the calm before the storm. We got some things brewing up, man. And we're going to get some things started real soon, man. I'll be on here a lot more regularly. Become a member, y'all. We got Low, Life, Rev, also becoming a member of the Big Mike Raider Fleet. Welcome aboard, man. Thanks for popping in. Let's see. Let's see. CGR, he says it perfectly, man. He says, get Big Mike Raider to 3K. Let's get him to 3K. Let's get to 3K before the season starts, man. Man, shout out to Ant once again, man. We got Brian Rodriguez in the building. Good afternoon. It's morning over here. I don't know where you're at, but good afternoon to you from wherever you're at, man. You know what? People that are listening, man, where are you guys listening from, man? We got 19 in the building, man. We're going to warm this thing up a little bit. Share this thing out. We can make the numbers grow. And let me know where you guys are listening from, man. Let me see. We got Kenny Clark in the building. I love the intro. Yeah. Hey, that's I made the intro. My cousin did the song. If you guys want to go check out Cautious on SoundCloud, KAWSHUS. He has great music. All his tracks are fire. Go ahead and check it out, man, if you guys are interested. I think I got a link. I'll put the link out if you guys are interested at some point down the line. We got Mad Mike in the building. Salute to you, man. We got Yaya in the building. Salute to you, man. Good to see you. We got James Bowles in the building. Let's see who else we got here. DeMarcus Webb popping in. Thanks for popping in, man. Big Mike, I thought you was Ice Cube for a minute. Was good shit. Yeah, because it's the Raider hat. Yeah. I get that from time to time, bro. I get that from time to time. We got Brian Rodriguez listening from Orlando, Florida. James Bowles from Antioch, California. Anthony from Fresno. I'll be in Fresno in a couple of weeks, man. Kenny Clark, downtown Vancouver. I love it, man. I love it. Let's see, he says for now, man. All right, guys, let's get this thing started, man. We got 19 in the building, man. It's an early morning. I don't think we're going to get that many people, but it's all right. We're going to keep rocking. You guys can check it out in the future, man. So first things first, let's talk about Jack Bech, his contract, right? The Las Vegas Raiders have signed second-round pick Jack Bech to a 4-year rookie contract. The deal reportedly is worth $7.56 million. So he some life-changing money for sure. The deal reportedly worth $7.56 million includes a $2.14 million signing bonus. Jack Bech's 2025 cap hit will be $1.4 million, according to Yahoo Sports. This means the Raiders have now signed all their 2025 draft picks. What do you guys think about Jack Bech getting his new contract? Not fully guaranteed. I'm sure that's what he was hoping for, or a lot of people were hoping for. But you saw kind of the log jam. It was kind of a big log jam amongst all those second-round picks. And, towards, as camp gets closer, all those second-round picks was like, hey, I'm trying to come play. I got to make a name for myself. If I don't play, they could easily just let me go and we can move forward. Next man up type of deal. Second-round pick is a priority pick. It is a premium pick, but it's not that first-round pick to where you're going to deal with a lot of the holdouts and the things like that. You'll move on in that type of situation. And these second-round picks, besides the ones that got fully guaranteed deals, some did, some didn't. Soon as one person kind of got that signing, got that contract, you started seeing the trickle-down effect. Everybody else started signing, and I'm sure there's some other guys that still haven't been signed yet. But besides that, Jack Bech is in the building, man. I think that he's going to have a phenomenal season. I think his projected stats are around 700 yards. I think that's a little bit high. And he's also seeing a guy right over his shoulder in Dante Thornton Jr. picked in the 4th round who could easily kind of leapfrog him and take the reins and be that more of that go-to guy instead of him in that situation. So he's going to have to come in and he's been at practice, but he's going to really have to come in and really compete with Dante Thornton, who's also coming in and trying to make a name for himself. So let me know what you think. What do you think about Jack Bech? What kind of stats do you think Jack Bech is going to do? I think around 600 yards is pretty good. Couple touchdowns, about 45 to 50 catches sounds about right. Let me know what you guys think, man. We got Yaya from Porto de la Cruz, Spain. This guy is everywhere, man. I'm going to ask you tomorrow. I'm going to ask you next week. I'm going to ask where you are, man, because I know that you're a little bit everywhere, man. So shout out to you, man, and be safe on your trips and on all your trails, man. Let me see. We got Kenny Clark says, I love it. Man, yeah, it's good to have all of our draft picks in the building, man, for sure. We got Freight Train in the building. Good to see you, man. Salute to you. We got let's see, he says the nation Raiders. You already know, man. We're getting close to that time, man. We're getting really close. Kenny Clark says so many variables for Coach Chip. Yeah, it's going to be exciting, man. I think this offense is going to really turn some heads, especially at the wide receiver position. A lot of these wide receivers are not really getting their full credit of what they can bring to the table, especially a guy like Jacoby Myers, who had over 1,000 yards, and a lot of people are kind of sleeping on him, including even in the fantasy football world, right, where you can kind of pick him in the 8th, 9th round, but I digress. Those are the type of guys that can put up big numbers under this system, as well as, we got a revamped running back room as well. So I'm excited to see what we got for this offense, man. We'll see very soon. Let's see. Say it, FT. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, Freight Train. You're talking about Freight Train. Shout out to Kenny Clark, man. DeMarcus Webb, Besh is a straight dog out there. Nasty work. Nasty those fabs that was getting was booing fabs. Those fabs that were booing him at the softball game before he signed. Wide receiver room is diverse, 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. I like that. Around 6 is a little bit high. There's a lot of weapons to get the ball to and touchdowns. I think that a guy like our tight end, I can't think of his name, Brock Bowers. Jesus. Brock Bowers, I think he's kind of going to have that double-digit touchdowns type of year. I don't think he's going to have the amount of yardages he had last year. I say around 1050 to 1100 yards, but he's going to really almost double his amount in touchdowns. I think he's going to have like maybe 10, 11 touchdowns. But you guys let me know, man. 600 yards would be awesome. I don't know. That's pretty high, especially, because they're thinking Dante Thornton Jr. is going to be kind of a special guy too. But you never know. You never know. Jack Besh is a special receiver. He definitely has the intangibles. He definitely has that it factor. And even a guy like Des Bryant even said that this guy's going to be in the league for years to come. I don't know if you guys saw what he posted on X. He really gave high praise to Jack Besh. So, from one legend, saying that about another receiver, that does kind of hold some weight to me. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Oh yeah, he says fans might. Okay, yeah, it's all good, bro. I kind of figured that, but yeah, man. Let's jump to the next topic, man. Let's talk about Christian Wilkins, man. The writing was kind of on the wall with Christian Wilkins back in like May when he was still in a boot and that he wasn't going to be ready. Pete Carroll even said that it's kind of a long road ahead for him. The writing was kind of on the wall, right? So Las Vegas Raiders defensive tackle Christian Wilkins is currently recovering from a season-ending left foot injury from last season, which is a Jones fracture. We'll talk about the Jones fracture. And I also want to compare it to what Tyree Wilson kind of went through as well, and we'll get into that. But the Jones fracture, he suffered in week 5 of the 2024 NFL season. He underwent surgery to repair the injury in last October. Recent updates indicate that Wilkins has been placed on the PUP list, physically unable to perform list, by the Raiders, meaning he cannot participate in team activities as training camp begins. While players on the PUP list can be activated anytime during training camp and the preseason, his exact timeline for returning to practice and game action remains unclear. So, what does this mean for Christian Wilkins? Let's talk about the injury, right? So we're talking about a Jones fracture. Think of this as your foot, right? Think of my hand as your foot. It's the pinky right here, that Jones fracture. It on the foot, it broke, and they added like a piece of hardware in there, like a pin of some sort, to kind of put the bone together, mend that bone together. That takes a long time. It takes about 3 months to recover from that. This was back in October. 3 to 6 months, right? Takes a little bit longer because he is 310 pounds. From October to May, that's about 7 months. It's 7 months, and he had another setback. What that tells me is that maybe he rushed back a little bit too fast. He maybe took a step, and it didn't feel right. Got placed back in the boot. Now, the reports are saying that he had to get an additional surgery. Maybe he did get an additional surgery. So if that did happen, let's say it happened in May, right? Then it's going to take another 3 months to recover from that. Now we're looking at August. Now we're looking at training camp, right? So in saying all that, if that is the case and he's still recovering from that, right? Say that is the case, that he did get an additional surgery and he is recovering currently from that. And they're saying he's on the up and up. There's other people that are concerned about his season coming forward in 2025. I lean towards that 2025 season being kind of a wash for him. I'm not going to lie to you. Kind of what, not on the extreme case he's going to miss on the entire 2025 season, but I don't think he's going to be ready by week 1, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I know this is hopium season, right? We're hoping everybody comes in. Everybody's on the up and up. Everybody's in the best shape of their life. We hear that all the time, right? I'm not going to be on that boat as far as Christian Wilkins goes. I know what it takes to kind of come back from a pretty bad injury. I've had 2 back surgeries in my I'm not even 40 yet. I've already had 2 back surgeries, and just the mental block it takes for you to kind of get over an injury that is kind of stops you, prevents you from doing what you're used to doing. Walking, simple things as walking, right? Christian Wilkins broke a bone in his right here in the pinky part of his foot where you push off on that. It's a lot of power coming off of that, especially on the outside part of the foot. And at 310 pounds, that 3 months, yeah, maybe he could recover from that, but you also got to consider, right? He's got to get into playing shape. He's got to get some confidence in that foot. The get off is not going to be as quick as you would be accustomed to seeing from a guy like Christian Wilkins. It's going to take a while, guys. And I don't expect him to be here by week 1. Now, what does that mean for the PUP list, right? If he stays on the PUP list, he's going to miss the first 4 games. So I said it before. I said it. I posted on X. I'll see you in October. I think that he's going to be around week 5. He's going to be available in week 5. He might already be on the field by the time the season starts, but you got to get him into playing shape. You got to get him confident to using that foot. You got to get him confident with the get off. And, comparing that to a guy like Tyree Wilson, where he didn't have the Jones fracture, he had the Liz Frank injury. So look at the foot again, right? The Liz Frank injury is pretty much breaking the bones in the middle part, the base of your foot, which takes even longer to recover from. And you guys already saw with Tyree Wilson. You can even argue that he hasn't been the same since his college days, where he broke that part on his foot where he had to get surgery and get some pins in that foot for the Liz Frank injury, which takes about 11 to 12 months to fully recover from. Any kind of injury that involves the foot, whether it's that Liz Frank injury, imagine the foot, this is a foot, the Liz Frank injury, or the Jones fracture, anytime you're dealing with that at that size, that kind of speed, and that kind of explosion coming from these guys, is going to take a long time. It's going to take a little bit longer to recover from that, especially at the weight and at the power they're pushing off from. So what do you guys think? I think Christian Wilkins will be back by week 5. I think that he's not going to be 100%. He's not going to have that top 10 D tackle type of impact this season. Maybe on the back end of the season, you'll start seeing him kind of taking form. But I think he'll be back by week 5. But don't expect him to be that Pro Bowl type of guy that we all accustomed and expect him to be, right? Let me hear what you guys think about that. I kind of went long-winded. Hopefully you guys got what I was talking about, man. I'm going to scroll up a little bit because, I definitely went long-winded on that one, man. But shout out to you guys for popping in, man. Let's see. Let me see. It says all the rookie wide receivers. Shout out to Funky Hair, man. He says all the rookie wide receivers are going to have to show something if they want to eat. This competition is going to be fierce. Absolutely, man. Kenny Clark says CW down the stretch. Yeah, I want to see him kind of improve over the season. I don't want him to rush and feel pressured to come in by week 1 if he hasn't got the game speed. He isn't fully conditioned to play. He's not at 100% as far as conditioning goes, and not 100% like confident to kind of push off that foot, right? That's a lot to ask for. So I'm hoping around week 5 he's good to go. Hopefully that's the case, but we'll see. Shout out to Louis G in the building, a member. Thanks for popping in, man. And shout out to Funky Hair, man, our member of the Big Mike Raider fleet as well, man. Shout out to CGR. He says, Raiders. You already know, man. Appreciate it. Got my coffee, man. Thank you, honey. All right. So let's see what else we got. So he's doing the second surgery. Now, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if he did or didn't get the second surgery, but he got the surgery in October. And it's been from that point in May, he was still in a boot 7 months. He did have a setback. That's one thing you can say for sure, right? It says about 3 to 6 months to recover from a Jones fracture. And he was still in a boot. I don't know if he's in a boot to this day, but he's on the PUP list. So if I had to put pieces together, I would say that he did get another surgery, but it's not 100% confirmed. I don't know. We would have to hear from Christian Wilkins himself, or one of the medical members on the team. Let's see. It says shout out to Dr. Gout, aka Wasted Talent, and shout out to Wasted. He explained it perfectly on his show yesterday with Graf, kind of explaining how the Jones fracture is and what to expect and how that impacts a giant, like a giant of a man at 300 plus pounds. He explained it perfectly. Hopefully I explained it as perfectly as he did, but you guys can kind of get the idea. 310 pounds is going to be really hard to come back from that type of injury and be back at 100% at the timeline that everybody's expecting him to be, right? And another thing, right? Another thing that we want to talk about. Another thing we want to talk about is if he isn't healthy this coming season, do you get rid of him? Now, Wasted made a good point. Shout out to Wasted. He said that, hey, if he's not at the level that we're expecting him to be this season, maybe you start considering letting him go after the season. Maybe you start looking for, trade options at the offseason. Now, I say that that's a viable option. It has to be something that you have to consider because, you don't want to have somebody that has value now, and then you want to hold on to the value now for the hopes that he's going to come back the following season and be that top 10 defensive tackle. Get what you can from him now if he doesn't play this year, and get some value before he becomes not valuable. Now, I said the same thing about Tyree Wilson, right? Tyree Wilson last year, I was ready to trade him because I felt like you can get a third, maybe fourth round pick for him. Now, I don't think you can get the same value for him. I think you want to strike while the iron is hot, while people are still in demand for somebody at that caliber. Now, if Christian Wilkins comes out and balls out, you're not even going to consider that, right? But if he's still kind of on that, trying to mend and he's not really the guy that we all expect him to be, you got to consider a trade, man. What do you guys think about that as well, man? I've said a mouthful. Let me hear from what you guys think. Let me see. I predicted Wilkins will go on a 4-game PUP. Yeah, I think so too, man. I think that he's going to be back by week 5, and I'm not expecting him to be back where he used to be honest with you. Kenny Clark says no more jumping on each other, and they do say that was what caused it. But the clip that I saw that he planted after chasing a screen against the Broncos. It wasn't the Adam Butler thing where he jumped on him. It was where he kind of chased after a screen and he turned, like the way he turned and the way he planted. It was like a sudden. You saw where he kind of hobbled after that. And then he got taped up after that, and he just wasn't the same. He had to leave after that. So he still tried to play after fracturing a bone in his foot. So shout out to Christian Wilkins for being tough like that. If I broke my foot, I'd be like, hey, we're good, man. let me sit this out. He tried to at least tape up and still try to play. So shout out to him for that one. But from what I saw, it was from a screen. It wasn't from the jumping, but who knows, man? It could be that too. Let me see. Yeah, jumping on other guys. Yeah, they need to stop doing that for sure, even if that wasn't the case. Wilkins will miss max 4 games. I don't know if you meant like a double entendre there, but yeah, he's gonna miss those first 4 games in my if I had to predict. Now, if he gets removed from the PUP before week 1, then he might miss still a couple of games. I don't think he's going to be ready by week 1. I'm going to be honest with you. But we'll see. We'll see. We got training camp coming very soon on Tuesday, guys. So, and shout out to Walt, man. Kenny Clark says, I can fabricate a special cleat for him. All right. hey, you got skills like that. Let's get it, man. Let's see. Let's see. We got Raiders Primos in the building. Salute to the chat. Hey, salute to you, Primos. Good to see you back in the realm, man. In the space. Good to see you, man. Good to see Raiders Primos. Let's see what else we got, man. Ant says the gout injury, man. Yeah, shout out to the gout specialist, wasted talent. I have faith in JJ Pegues to get great reps in the first 4 games. We'll see, man. I mean, I don't want to put too much pressure on the young rookie. He was a 6th round pick. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not gonna have too much faith in somebody that we picked in the 6th round. I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's see. And Tonka Hemingway, that's another guy we got to look at. Let's see. I was thinking mid-season or out for the season. If Wilkins is back by week 5, that'd be great. I have a feeling he'll be back by week 5. But people are saying that he's gonna be ready by week 1, man. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. And Walt with the menu, he says boneless, juicy pork chops and chicken thighs, garlic mashed potatoes, and corn as sides, man. Yesterday, guys, if you guys are interested in some food tips, right? I'm not trying to get this derailed or anything like that, but food tips, right? Go to, and I should be a sponsor, but I'm not a sponsor. Go check out Wild Fork, man. They have all the different cuts of meat, pause if necessary, but they got the tomahawks under $50, prime cut, if you guys are interested in that, right? They have all kinds of ribeyes, but one that I really got on is hanger steak, guy. Go check out some hanger steaks. I made some hanger steaks yesterday, man. This shit was fire. Fire. Go check out some hanger steaks. They got some other stuff if you're not into that. Moving on. Shout out to Walt. Raiders Primos, is there a way we can bring Wilkins back like week 8 or week 9? Like what I mean is mid-season instead of week 5. That way he can heal up more. I mean, I guess they could like give him be eligible to come back by week 5. But if he's not ready, they just say he's not ready. Put him on week by week punt on the injury report. Kind of monitor him and evaluate him week by week. That is a possibility. I really don't want him to rush either, to be honest with you. It's a big investment, and I have faith that he's going to come back and ready to ball out. I just don't want him to rush and hurt himself again. That's kind of where I'm at. Matt Marinovich in the building says we drafted Tonka and JJ Pegues for a reason. Hey, I can't argue with that, man. Hopefully, those guys are ready to go. They're mid to late round picks. So I don't really have too much invested in them as far as expectation. It would be good if they exceeded the expectation. That would be awesome. But as far as expectation goes for those 2 guys, is really low. I just want them to make the squad and be a good rotation piece at this point. Maybe even participate in some special teams. CGR, he goes, Walt always making me hungry, man. Yeah, me too, man. Let's see. Yeah, Walt always talking about the food, man. But I haven't got one invite yet. Shout out to Primos. I think if Wilkins needed a second surgery, he had it in May. Absolutely. That's what I think, too. If I had to put the pieces together, put on my sleuth hat, I would say that that he did get another surgery in May, kind of putting the pieces together. That's what I would think. Kenny Clark says Walt can cook it up, man. Hey, but we haven't got no invite yet. That's what I'm trying to figure out why. I haven't got one invite yet from Walt. He puts the menu out there, but he hasn't said, hey, bring a fork or pull up. Like, come on, Walt, what are we doing? What are we doing? I'll bring some steak. We can grill out. I'll bring some beers. What do you want? Liquor? What are you into? I'll bring some stuff, man. What do you need? Let me know, Walt. Come on, man. We're waiting. Man, hey, shout out to Primos. It depends on how other D tackles are playing. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Camp is going to tell a lot about these guys for sure. Says if you could trade him and get that off the contract, get the contract off the books, do it. And that also just depends on what type of performance we're getting from Christian Wilkins this season. That's what I'm really evaluating now. If he doesn't, if he's not on that up and up, he's not playing at the level that we're expecting, especially shout out to Yaya. He says $110 million. If he's not playing at that level of $110 million, you really got to consider making a trade at some point and getting something out of it before he becomes, just a guy that we're hanging on to and we can't get any value for him later on, down the line. That's what I think. I'm not, pushing away Christian Wilkins. I'm not on that boat to where I'm saying, oh, this is a big waste of money. This was the worst contract in Raider history. Like, I'm not on that boat. What I'm saying is, you got to do what's best for business. At the end of the season, you got to evaluate if he's not playing at par. You gotta consider some, letting him go and moving on. Like that's just the business of the game, right? That's just something that you have to consider. Let me see. Shout out to Walt. GM Walt predicts seeing Wilkins in a boot in May. He had that second surgery in May. Absolutely. Let me see. Let's move on down right here, man. Primo says jumping on. That's pause worthy, but come on, man. Shout out to Raider Nomad. Salute to you, man. Thanks for popping in. Raider Primo says all signs point to Wilkins not being ready for week 1. I agree. I don't think he's going to be ready, man. Man, Primos is on a tear today, man. I think we can still get pressure with Kuntz, Butler, and Crosby. How are you feeling about moving Wilson to the inside? I hope that he put on some weight. Hope he got a secondary move. The bull rush will work, as a 3 technique for him. He's would be a smaller 3 technique. He's kind of lanky. My concern for him would be pad level. Can he keep that pad level? Your get off has to be top notch if you're going to be playing in the interior, because your ass will get washed to the 3rd row of the stadium if you're not. So, hope the get off is right. Hopefully put on some weight. Hopefully he can get that pad level together if he can play at that D tackle position. I think he has the strength and athleticism to do it. Want to see him put on maybe 10 to 15 pounds if he wants to play at that D tackle position on a permanent basis. I think edge is not kind of where he should be in the league if he's trying to, keep a job. I think that playing on the inside will be good for him, but is he ready for that? I don't know. It remains to be seen. Let me see. Shout out to James Furpo in the building, man. Good to see you, man. Raiders, you already know, man. We got a lot of Raiders in here, man. We got a lot of Raiders. Hey, we're getting close, man. I got like allergies right now, so I can't even yell the way I want to, man. But you guys get it, man. We got training camp around the corner, man. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. And we got East Coast Gridiron in the building, man. Thanks for popping in. What up, Big Mike? Good to see you, bro. Hey, good to see you too, man. Thanks for popping in, man. Man, hope everything is well on your end, bro. Let me see. We got let's see what else. We got Walt Wilkins getting his surgery in October, wanted to come back at the end of 2024. He could be there week 1. It's a possibility. I'm not saying that he won't. I'm just throwing out my prediction. I just don't see it. I don't see it, especially he was in a boot in May. If he did get a second surgery, August will be the time where he will recover fully. And then you got to get him in a game shape. You got to get him out there practicing, getting him confident to use that foot. Might as well keep him on the PUP list and let him kind of baby that injury and get into full recovery. Week 5 is okay for me. This is a marathon, not a sprint. We don't need to get him out there if it's not necessary. So that's just where I stand with that one. Let me see. But it could be due to the fact that Spytek and Carroll want to see if Wilkins' availability will be an issue moving forward. So it makes sense drafting 2 defensive tackles. Hey, it's a possibility, man, unless they know something we don't know about Wilkins. But if that was the case, I would say that they would have got a D tackle a little bit earlier, considering that, Hemingway and Pegues were, mid to late round picks. You would think that maybe one of those 3rd round picks would be a D tackle if that was the case. But, you never know. You never know. Maybe they know something that we don't know. Maybe. And then to me, I just think that 5th and 6th round, you're kind of going for best available, best fit, and not necessarily like, oh, somebody that can take a place from, for somebody. It was more of a, best fit, best player available type of situation to their board, right? That's what I think that was. Not necessarily, Christian Wilkins is going to be out or he's not going to be the same guy. Let's draft 2 guys. I don't think that was the case, but you never know, man. It's hard to say what's going on behind the scenes and in that room during draft day. So let me see. Yeah, Kenny Clark's looking for another invite, and meanwhile, Walt is saying, "Get off my lawn." So I'm guessing that we're not getting an invite, bro. I guess that's what it is, man. But we'll try again next time. Let's see. Shout out to East Coast Gridiron in the building, man. Raider Nomad. He says Max and Kuntz will make it better for whoever it is in that DT spot. And I think Adam Butler does well, man. I think that he's going to do his job. He did really well last season. He does the things that really don't show up on stats. But if you really look at film and the things he does, he really sets up linebackers for success, filling in the gap, taking on double teams. Linebacker comes in and kind of fills the gap behind him and really makes a play. And that's all of the dirty work that Adam Butler does. He's kind of a workman's type of dude. He's not going to wow you with the stats, but he just does his job. And I think that Adam Butler will be just fine, right? We'll see. Shout out to George in the building. He says 17-0 Super Bowl, man. I love it. I thought you said 15-2 last time. I guess he's like super bullish now. We ain't losing no games. I love it. Shout out to Walt. Big Mike about to go over 3K, man. Hey, give me the 3K, guys. You guys already know what to do. We got 66 in the building. This is your first time, man. Go ahead and hit the sub button, and then make sure you hit the likes. Get those likes up, man. Like those thumbs, and you know how we do it. Hit the sub and share with your folks. Share it out so we can make this channel grow, man. We got some things coming this season. Took some time off during the offseason. Wasn't much to talk about. I'm not going to force the issue, but during the season, you will see me regularly, man. I promise you that one. Rain or shine. AOC MVP. Haha, playing. Yeah, AOC is going to be on the bench. Shout out to Aiden O'Connell, man. But that's a great second string quarterback to have, man. And nothing against him at all, man. But he's not going to start. He's not starting. In my mock and many others had JJ Pegues going in the 4th. Spy Tech is gold. Yeah, it was absolute steal. JJ Pegues is an athletic freak at that D tackle position. He played a little bit of fullback. He's a Swiss Army knife, right? You can use him in special situations. I think that he's going to fit in just fine. Now the expectation, once again, like I said, isn't high for our defensive tackles, man. I know that next man up type of deal, but we don't need to rush these guys either, especially our rookies. Let me see. I know our defense will hit and stymie. Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. This defense is going to be no joke. Shout out to Psycho in the building. He says, hate hearing that, but facts when it comes to Wilkins sucks, but I hope he comes back better than ever. All I know is his upper body should be built like a mansion all this time, a lot of time. Yeah, he's going to be in shape. He's still working out, but football shape is a little bit different, right? You can get in physical shape, right? You're going to be built, you're going to have the muscle, you're going to put on a lot of muscle, but all that turning and running and agility, you got to really it takes a long time to get back in that kind of shape, right? And on top of getting over an injury, a foot injury like that, you got to really ease into that. It's a mental block sometimes when you have a major injury where you have a surgery on especially a foot, especially at 300 pounds. Like, you really gotta really think. Like, just imagine you breaking your foot, getting a pin in it, and then recovering from that. Would you guys be comfortable with pushing off and start running sprints even 3-6 months later. I wouldn't personally, man. I'm be honest with you. So you got to really get into the mentality of some of these guys, right? These are still human beings. These are still people. It's gonna take some time, man. I really think it's gonna take time. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want him to take his time. That's why I say week 5. Give him some time to get, physically ready, get agility up, get confident in that foot, and then have him out there ready to go, man. It takes some time. It really does, man. I'm not ready to rush him. Don't rush it. Shout out to Matt L. Love the show, man. Keep up the great content, man. I appreciate you, man. And we'll be here all season, man. I promise you that. We'll be here. Let me see. Week 5. Shout out to Harry Sack. Week 5, Indy. I love it, man. Yeah, I think he'll be back by week 5 for sure. Shout out to Harry Sack. Oh, man. Harry Sack goes week 6, Tennessee. He'll have 2 games in before we go to KC. Yeah, and I hope that by that point, he's at full stride when it comes to that, man. Salute to Harry Sack, man. Walt says Spy Tech drafted 2 D tackles, 2 O-lines in the draft. You'll win on the lines. Hey, trenches wins titles, man. That's what I always say. Trenches wins titles. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I agree with you, Walt. East Coast. He says Tonka, in my opinion, is going to fit the scheme better than JJ. Okay. Tonka played the 0, 2 inside shade, and 3 technique alongside TJ Sanders at a level for South Carolina all year. JJ was more of a 4-eye guy primarily. Hey, you heard it from East Coast, man. You're right. You're absolutely right, because what we are missing right now is that 0 and 1. We lost John Jenkins. So who's going to really come in and be that 1, that 0? You know what I mean? That 2-eye. And the fact that he's versatile, that can kind of be from 0 to 3. That you're right. I think that Tonka is going to be a lot more versatile and is more of a fit in what we're trying to do, especially under Patrick Graham, who is a very versatile type of defensive coordinator. He likes to dial up a lot of different things, move people around and things like that, including the front line. So we even seen it to where we had Max Crosby at the 9 or even 7. And then we had another guy kind of like at that 7 or even 5. It was kind of weird. We've seen different looks, exotic looks like that, where you had 2 people kind of coming from the outside on the edge on both sides. It was kind of weird, man. But anyways, my point is that Patrick Graham is kind of that versatile guy where he dials up some exotic looks on defense, and that fits more what Tonka does. So good point. East Coast bringing the heat with that one, man. I appreciate you, bro. Let's see. Shout out to George. He says worst case scenario 15-2, but I'm talking devastating loss of key players. So he said even with the injuries, we're going 15-2, man. I love it, man. I love it. Let's see. Shout out to Walt. He says, is it possible we could have a Jordan Malataka Philly All-Pro? Mailata. Philly All-Pro left tackle in the same path, getting Laki Tassi from Australia playing rugby. That would be great. They moved him to guard, right? I think he's playing guard. Dude's like 6'6", 350, got feet on him. Like, I'm excited to see what they do with Laki Tassi, man. Hopefully he comes around and he can actually be on the field, man. That would be great if we can turn that diamond in the rough. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully that can be the diamond in the rough, man. Hopefully he comes through. Let's see. Shout out to Matt L. Wilkins should shut this year down. Wow. Get the surgery, come back 100% next year. If he goes this year, who knows how much worse it can get. I'm assuming that's a lot. You said a lot right there, right? I'm assuming that he already had the surgery. If he did have a second surgery, he had it already, and he's recovering from that right now. And it's going to take a few months for that to recover. I'm saying around the August timeframe. Say if you got it in May, it takes about 3 to 6 months. And if it's just a cleanup job, maybe it might take around 3 months. Hopefully not at the 6-month mark. But he's going to get evaluated as camp progresses, as we get closer to the season. But I think at the very worst, he's gonna be remaining on that PUP list all the way through week 4, leading up to week 5, and then they'll have him activated, and then they'll evaluate him week by week at that point. As far as sitting down the whole season, I mean, I could see a possibility with that too if he's not ready to go. I mean, and in that case, man, we might start thinking about moving on from him, to be honest with you. So we'll see, man. We'll see. And Dan Tessier also brings up a good point. 300 plus pounds doesn't help. That's a lot pushing off, a lot of power to be pushing off, off that foot, or a surgically repaired foot. So we'll see, man. Stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. Matt Marinovich, Zamir, and Tyree built, but it takes more than strength to succeed in their positions. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, football isn't about just brute force. You got to have some finesse. You got to have some agility. You got to be smart too. So for sure, man. For sure. Shout out to my 2 cents. Curse of the poor drafts and free agents must end. Well, I would say the last 2 seasons we had some pretty good drafts. Free agency, not so much. We got to really hit on both aspects. Now, I'm hoping that, Geno Smith and Jeremy Chin and the guys we brought in free agency this year, we hit a home run on that this year. And Landon Roberts, things like that, right? Hopefully we hit a home run on that. But as far as draft goes, I think that we're starting to see the other side of that, right? Brock Bowers, we brought him in. Ashton Genty, 2 guys that are considered generational talents at their positions, right? And then we bring in guys like Jack Besh, Dante Thornton Jr., guys who kind of, be supporting roles and things like that. And we just talked a lot about Pegues and Hemingway, guys that can really come in and make an impact, right? I think that we're kind of on the other side of having that stigma of poor drafts. I think the last 2 years has shown that, but we need to build on that too. We need to continue having great drafts, but we also need to hit on free agency as well, man. But we'll see what those free agencies that we brought in this offseason, if they can bring and improve this team. I think we're going to win 10 games, to be honest with you, man. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me see. Shout out to my sissy Vet Niles in the building, man. Thanks for popping in. Let's see. East Coast, I think maybe what they're looking at with JJ is his athleticism to maybe play inside a lot more than he did. But like you said, pad level is incredibly important. Yeah, especially on the interior. What you're looking for, and this East Coast, man, but for the viewers, right, for the rest of the viewers, for a D tackle playing in the interior, you're looking for pad level. You're looking for get off. You're looking for hands. Can you use your hands? Can you shed blockers? Can you take on a double team? What are you doing with that double team? Are you that dude to where you can break a double team like an Aaron Donald, kind of split the difference and still make a play? Or if you're not that dude, you take on the double team, you kind of turn your body and fill in a gap and let the rest of your guys make a play. There are guys that make a full career on taking on double teams and just being a space eater and letting the guys behind them look like superstars. There's guys at the 1-0 technique that do stuff like that. Not necessarily shows on the stat sheet, but the defense is improved because of those efforts. So those are the types of things that you're looking for in a defensive tackle on the interior, particularly the 0-1, maybe even to the 3. Those are the things that you're looking for in a D tackle, right? And if JJ is that dude, he is that athletic dude, we got something special in him. Hopefully he's a good fit. Hopefully, and like I said, for everybody, I have very low expectations for these defensive tackles, these rookie ones. I'm not expecting them to come out and just start being superstars. They don't need to be. And we shouldn't have that expectation. But if they can come in on rotation and do their job and learn and show improvement, then I say it's a home run for sure, man. Shout out to Harry Sack. He says, which UDFA makes the 53? I think Mello Dotson makes the 53. That's one guy that I think will make the 53. And I think that's probably the only one. to be honest with you. We need corners. And I think that because of that, he's gonna make it. Hopefully he comes out and really breaks out and gets into a rotation. That'd be great. But that's the only one I think that will make the 53 this time around. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, ECG's bringing the heat, man. Let's see. Laki Tasi, fullback number 35, the Samoan Nightmare, man. I love it. I love it, man. I love it. My bad. I didn't know he got the second surgery. Look, hey, Matt, I don't know if he got the second surgery, right? We don't know. It hasn't been confirmed. But if I had to put pieces together, he was still in a boot in May. And he had a setback, right? So if he did have the surgery, I think it was probably before that or immediately after that, somewhat in May. Hopefully it was in May. And he's still recovering from that injury. But I don't know. I'm not going to say that he did or didn't. So, but if he did, hopefully he got it done very soon. But we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to CGR. Guys, become a part of the fleet, the Big Mike Raider fleet. There's the link right there. If you guys want to become a member, the link is right there. Welcome aboard in advance. And we got 67 in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Let's get to 3K before the season starts. That will be great, man. And we're here to stay for the rest of the season, man, for sure. Let's see. East Coast says Jordan Mailata also right tackle for a bit more before transitioning, plus having the best O-line coach in Jeff Stoutland matters too. He's a great coach. Not saying the Raiders don't have good coaches, just saying. Yeah, I mean, coaching matters. It does. It really does, right? And a guy like Laki Tasi, who is trying to learn the game now. Coaching really matters. So, his development is going to be really based on what type of coaches we have. But having a guy like Stoutland, Coach Stoutland, one of the best O-line coaches in the business, definitely helps your case, right? But we'll see. I'm not jumping the gun, but we'll see for sure, man. We'll see when it comes to Laki Tasi, man. Let's see. And it looks like we got ourselves. Let's see. Let's roll down right here. We got Yvette Niles becoming a new member of the Big Mike Raider fleet. Welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. Thanks for the support. And East Coast Gridiron also becomes a member of the Big Mike Raider fleet. Welcome aboard, man. Thanks for popping in, man. Let's see. Matt L says, I appreciate the response. I was saying if he doesn't get the second surgery, I'd rather he shut it down and not play hurt, given his weight and position, plus the money invested to get him back next year. I agree with that. Hopefully he didn't just sit on it and it's like, I'm getting the surgery now. Like, if that's the case, then we're not going to see him this season. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Let's scroll back up just a little bit, man. East Coast Gridiron, good seeing you, bro. I'm about to go live on my end as well. Appreciate you, bro. Guys, after the show, I'm going to be wrapping it up in about 10 minutes. But, guys, go check out East Coast Gridiron. Puts on a great show. He breaks things down to a fine pace, man. If you guys want to get you guys want to nerd out in some football, man, go ahead and check it out, man. East Coast Gridiron, man. The guy does great work, man. Let's see. Dan Tessier says Brendan Carroll is an unknown commodity as an O-line coach. Yeah, see, we don't know what we're getting from Brendan Carroll. You could say that that's he's a Nepo baby, whatever you want to call it, right? Hopefully he can do the job, hopefully he can develop these offensive linemen, especially a guy like Laki Tasi, so we can see him on the field down the line, right? That would be great, but we'll see. To all of you here, you have no idea. Big Mike Raider has great shows and does one of the best I've ever seen, 30 for 30 before NFL draft. Love those shows, man. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, that means a lot, man. And we're gonna keep doing it, man. We're gonna keep doing the 30 for 30s. We're gonna keep putting on a show. I wish I had more time. because I definitely would be doing some film breakdowns and doing a lot more. But man, I got a lot going on. School, trying to wrap up school, trying to wrap up, not to wrap up, but just going to work every day, doing the grind. And when I was doing this a lot more, I was at home. I was dealing with an injury. You guys know the whole story. But right now, my time is split in 15 different ways. So, but this season I'll be around, man, for sure, man. Let's see. Shout out to CGR. It says Big Mike Raiders 30 for 30 was fired, man. Hey, there's plenty more where that came from, man. You'll see it. You'll see it all. You'll see it next season. Raiders got linebackers Roberts, Devin White, and the Cincy linebacker Pratt, right? We're talking about Pratt for less than Spillane in 2025. Good value. That's good value. Now I want to see some production, right? We got good value for those guys. Now, if the production is there, then I'll say it's a win, man. Shout out to Walt for sure, man. So let's talk about this real quick. There's some free agents out there, right? There's some free agents. And tell me yay or nay for these free agents. I'm going to name a top 10 free agents. Shout out to USA Today. They dropped an article on July 17th. If these guys aren't free agents anymore by this point, let me know. We'll move on, right? Landing spots for the best remaining free agents. Shout out to USA Today. Nick Brinkerhoff writes this article. Want to give him his credit where it's due. So, best remaining free agents. First one on the list, Amari Cooper. Are you guys rolling with Amari Cooper? Do you think we need to bring in Amari Cooper? Do you think that we don't have enough at the wide receiver position? Would you like to see a return of Amari Cooper? Yay or nay? Let me know. Amari Cooper is back in the building. Do you want to bring him in? Let's see. Let me hear what you guys have to say. Shout out to AR Afakasi Raider in the building. What's up with you, man? Hey, it's been a while, man. Good to see you, man. Hopefully all's well on your end. Yes or no, y'all? Yes or no? Amari Cooper. Let me see. No and hell no. Shout out to Ant. He says, Dan Tessier says nope. CGR says nope. AR says wouldn't be against it. Okay. Okay. Harry Sack says I'd rather have Keenan Allen. Let's see. Let's move on to the next one, man. So we got some that say yes. We got some that say no. Let's see. Who else we got? So speaking of Keenan Allen, would you bring Keenan Allen in? He's a free agent, number 2 on the list. What do you guys think? Let's see. Raiders are fine at wide receiver. I agree. I don't think we need to bring anybody else, but I want to hear from you guys. Room is good. He says, J Raider 007 with Gino. I'll say, yeah, but I like Keenan Allen more. Okay. Let's see. Let me know what you guys think. Keenan Allen, do you think we should bring him in? George says, nah. Okay. Tessier says pass. Cool. Let's see. Let's move on, man. Let's see. He is one of the favorites landing spots predicted by this guy. He says landing spots potentially for Keenan Allen is the Broncos, Steelers, Raiders, and Chargers. So, hey, that's here's another one for you. This is an interesting one. Justin Simmons, safety. Would you bring in Justin Simmons? Let me see. Walt says Raiders need to figure out slot cornerback. Yeah, I think that one is going to really hurt us. If there is a downfall this season, I would say that not having Nate Hobbs at the slot corner position is going to be our downfall this season. We really need a slot corner. Hopefully somebody emerges as that slot corner down the line. But I agree with you, man. George says, run what we got and pay Miller straight up. Okay, I like it. Focus on re-signing Miller and Jacoby. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you. Kenny Clark says yes to Justin Simmons. Let's see. CGR says no thanks. Question: who's playing slot corner? I don't know. Man. I don't know. I don't know. DeCameron Richardson. I don't know. Stokes. Maybe you have a different rotation of guys that you bring in. I don't know. Shout out to Dan. He says yes on Simmons. Harry Sack says Melo played some nickel at Mississippi. Melo Dotson might be that guy. Maybe. DeMarcus Webb says hell yeah on Simmons. I feel that. If I may, let's wait to see who gets cut. Yeah. That's the thing. Peter's going to coach up these DBs. Yeah, we got the guy in the building for sure. Let's see. Who else we got on this list, man? Let's go down the line. Julian Blackmon. He played through a shoulder injury in 2024, which forced him to switch positions in an effort to limit contact. Avoiding contact on a football field is a difficult task, but Julian Blackmon should return to form following an offseason surgery. At 26, the former Colts safety figures to be a low-risk, high-reward move. Depending on a deal being offered, Blackmon can land with a rebuilding squad like the Panthers or ink a one-year prove-it deal with a team like the Eagles. Do you think we should bring a Blackmon in? Maybe he can be our slot guy. Let's see. Kenny Clark says, don't know about him. Interesting. All right. Says, nah. So let's look at Justin Blackmon, right? Let's look at PFF because that's the best way for me to I know a lot of people don't like PFF, but let's see what he did last year at least. I'm not going to look at the PFF grades. I know a lot of you guys aren't down with that, right? 1,084 snaps last season, 6th in the league with that, 3 interceptions. That's not bad. 70 solo tackles, 3 picks. Justin, is that Julian Blackmon? Did I say Justin or Julian? Hold on. Yeah, Julian Blackmon. Sorry, Julian Blackmon. Hey, that might be somebody to bring in, man. Let me see. I'll watch tape later on him. Julian Blackmon. Let me know what you guys think about him. I've heard about Blackmon. Could work. I think so. That might be a good option, right? Hell yeah on Blackmon if they don't get Simmons. Yeah. Michael Smith, Amari Cooper got to get his lick back from Pac-Man before he returns to the Raiders. Yeah. I don't know how he'll do it, but yeah, I agree. But yeah, that's Blackmon is a viable option. All right, here's another one. Corner, since we're talking about corner. Asante Samuel Jr. Samuel also dealt with a shoulder injury in 2024, which limited him to just 4 games. It's certainly not a talent issue for the corner, who is just 25, but rather an injury one that has him still on the market. He underwent neck surgery in April and could wait to sign with the team as a result. His checkup, according to Jeremy Fowler from ESPN, was slated for early July. So, Asante Samuel Jr., what do you guys think? Would you bring him in? Let's see. Shout out to Raider Nation. What's good, man? Thanks for popping in. CGR says pass on Asante Samuel. Okay. I agree. That's a lot of injuries right there. Unless he's gonna, sign for a prove-it deal or something like that, I consider. Eric Raiders haters, Hunter, Erica Channel. Hey, okay, what's good, man? What's good? He says no. Neck, shoulder injury. Yeah, that's tough, man. I don't know. Harry Sack says no. Walt says no. We don't need to sign anybody to play slot. Chris Smith or Trey Taylor. That's a good one. Chris Smith or Trey Taylor, especially Trey Taylor. Let me see. Marcus Webb says no. Just another DJ. If he's healthy and can play the slot, why not? Let's see. Shout out to just another DJ, man. Let's see. Martin says, I'm nervous about signing players with injury history. Yeah, I agree. So that's a no for most for Asante Samuel. Let's see. Let's see. Let's move on. All right. I'm gonna move on from this one. Kaiser White. We don't need another linebacker. We don't need that. Zadarius Smith. Would you guys bring in another edge? Zadarius Smith. Let's see. This thing is acting up. Hold on. One second, y'all. One second. Oh, what happened? Let me see. So yeah, hold on one second, y'all. 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right, here's another one. Would you guys bring in Gabe Davis, wide receiver? He was one and done with the Jaguars, failing to take the next step following his departure from the Bills with just 20 catches, 239 yards, and 2 touchdowns in 10 games. Davis is a long way from the 4-touchdown game in the 2022 playoffs. He's only 26. Would you bring in a Gabe Davis? That's definitely unnecessary. He's not a wide receiver one type of dude. We definitely don't need. Let me see. Von Miller just signed with the Commanders, man. Von Miller. Let me see. Zadarius Smith. Hell yeah. Okay. I'm with it. We have enough good and or very promising dudes. Okay. Not interested in Gabe. His best year seems to be behind him. I agree. Moving on. All right. We're getting a little bit longer in the tooth with this option. Stephon Gilmore. Seeking his 6th team in as many seasons, Gilmore is no longer the all-pro defensive player of the year level cornerback at this stage of his career. However, he has been a serviceable option for teams in recent years, offering a veteran presence that is more than capable of producing. He's already won a Super Bowl and has over $116 million in career earnings, according to Spot Track, meaning Gilmore can approach his free agent decision in a variety of ways. He can chase money or another ring, potentially even both, depending on this destination. Would you guys bring in a Stephon Gilmore? Let's see. If we sign anybody, cornerback would be it. I agree. Just Raiders, baby. Great show. Hey, thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate that, bro. George says pass. Yeah, George is like, man, we're good with what we got right now, man. We're going 17-0 regardless. Price tag not worth it. Okay. And the last one on my list, guys, Jadeveon Clowney, edge. Would you bring him in? Clowney never lived up to the height of being the top pick in the 14 draft, bouncing around to 6 different teams in the last 7 seasons. Despite that reality, he has played 11 seasons and is looking to make it 12 in 2025 after tying his career high with 9.5 sacks for the Ravens in 2023. He followed up with 5.5 with the Panthers last season. Clowney is a complementary piece that can work into a pass rushing rotation, likely a team that is dreaming big. Would you bring in Jadeveon Clowney? Says no on SG. Okay. Eric Raiders, Haters Hunter says depends on the price. Okay. George says hell yeah. Okay. Says if Gilmore plays on the cheap, then yes. Okay. Facts. All right, let's see. Develop in some depth. All right, yeah. Hey, we might be good with the 53 we got. Clowney might be a good rotation guy. Marcus Webb says Rasul Douglas. I think Rasul Douglas is a good fit too. I think it's a good fit. We could use a third pass rusher. So some people are saying, maybe for Jadeveon Clowney. And some people are like, nah, we should only bring in a corner. So those are the top 10 on the free agency list, man. If there is any key free agencies you guys are looking at, let me know in the chat who would you bring in. We already heard Rasul Douglas, somebody that we would consider. Let me know what you guys will bring in, who you would bring in besides those top 10 that I just said, man, if there is any. I think that we're good, to be honest with you. If we're going to bring in anybody, let's bring in a corner. I think a guy like, Stephon Gilmore is a solid option. Hopefully he's not asking for too much money. Doesn't seem like he's asking for a lot of money. He's already made his money already, it seems like. You bring in something like that. a guy like Zadarius Smith at the edge for that third rush, that third edge rusher would be nice. Jadeveon Clowney would be not bad either. Asante Samuel, like I said, is too much of a risk. And Julian Blackmon is somebody that's really intriguing to me, to be honest with you. Let me see. Shout out to N-Un. Bring Nnamdi back out of retirement. I don't think Nnamdi's coming back. Man. Shout out to CGR. Hit that like button, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. You guys already know, man. Like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. But guys, that is the show, man. We talked about Christian Wilkins, his being on the PUP list, what that means. Like I said, baby him back in. Don't rush it. Hopefully he's back by week 5. I think he will be back by week 5. I don't see him coming in by opening week. Jack Besh got his contract. We already talked about what that payday looked like. If you guys didn't see the beginning of the show, Jack Besh 4-year contract, reportedly over $7.56 million, which includes a $2.14 million signing bonus. His salary cap hit will only be $1.4 million, according to Yahoo Sports. So that's what we talked about as well. And then we talked about some free agents. So, guys, that is the show. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you guys for all the love. I'll be back soon. We're going to be talking about some training camp stuff, the happenings of training camp and all the good stuff. We're going to be watching closely, man. So stay tuned, and hopefully you guys tune in on the next one. You guys already know, like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Your light illuminates their imperfections, hence their attempts to dull your shine. Light 'em up.
My name and flowers grew right out the brown soil. My vision's clear as glass, the robe is purple satin plus the crown's royal. Allow me to give you a demonstration. Holding your breath, waiting for me to fail only brings hyperventilation. See, I'm a soldier that's ready for any situation. So me and life double dated my trials and tribulations. Won't be remembered for not speaking out. I Google map my whole approach, so I chose not to take the peaceful route. I promise I can't make this shit up. I shed a tear, then used the mic stand to hold my chin up. They plot and strategize on different ways to make me give up. That's easier said than done, like a woman that's 9 months pregnant doing sit-ups. Yeah, I read the book of life, defeat was never in my story. Just brutal fights on the battlefield is bloody and gory. Showing off is a fool's idea of glory. Call me foolish, then in the clutch I make them drop like I was Robert Ory. See, in this world you gotta sink or swim. Boy, I'm a legend, when I die my presence never will be felt again. This greatness rare, but see I kept it in. Isolation in the demons, guardian angels been my only friend. I've been at war with myself in silence. Had a mental malfunction, forced to go into hiding. For
I hope
powerless
you
like
watch it right now,
losing
because then you're going to understand whoever get in my way, I'm a dog walk their ass.